We're back for day 2 of Here Comes the Sunscreen, 14 days of sunscreen. I feel like I'm zoomed in too far. Let me zoom out a little bit. I'm not ready for this close of a camera. Okay, that's a bit better. Hi guys, my name is Dana. If you are new here, we do this every year right at the start of basically what's called the summer in America, or at least I think Northern Hemisphere. Well, I know in America we start summer on Memorial Day. That is our holiday that kind of kicks off the summer season. So this series I have started, this is the second year, and I make sure I time it so that the last day of this video is my wrap-up video, and that is live on Memorial Day. So it's basically the lead up until summer, and then we get all these videos on sunscreen. Now I will say, and I mentioned this last year, just because we're doing this because of like summer's approaching, that kind of thing, doesn't mean you don't wear sunscreen throughout the year. Sunscreen is all the time. Sunny, rainy, cloudy, whatever, you're still getting UVA rays and UVB rays, and you still need protection. I just think that a lot of people kind of really associate it with the summer. So this is a good time here in the Northern Hemisphere to start it, but just wear it all the time, every single day. Even if you're not leaving the house, I wear it. So it's just a good habit to be in, and that's my little rant. We will get on to the actual video today, because today I've got a mineral sunscreen, and we are reviewing the DR.G Green Mild Up Sun Plus sunscreen. Now, if you missed day 1, I would recommend you go back and watch it, because I do a little bit of the intro, but this 14 days of sunscreen, we are only doing sunscreens from Japan and Korea. Basically, KJ Beauty. I didn't do a lot last year, and I haven't reviewed a lot lately, and I've been meaning to get to these sunscreens, so this is what we're doing. I think it's going to be a perfect way to compose and compile, what's the word? Compile a lot of sunscreens into one, and I'm really looking forward to my final wrap-up video, because I think it's going to be super helpful for everybody. So all of that said, we're already a few minutes in. Now I'm going to start the video. I'm going to put it on my face, zoom you in, and talk through this particular sunscreen. So let's go. If you're new and you've never watched a video of mine before, I always use 1/4 teaspoon, and this is my new teaspoon. It's very fancy, I love it. And that is because most people do not put the correct amount of sunscreen on their face. 1/4 teaspoon is recommended for your neck and face. Ooh, I think I got a little too much there. We will see. And people tend to ask me, why am I putting so much sunscreen on? And the reason is because your face, or the skin on your face, the skin on your body, has peaks and valleys. So to get a level layer of sunscreen, you do have to basically fill in those little valleys, but also make sure that there's a level layer on your face as well. So there's an actual formula, and off the top of my head I can't think of it, but it basically is the amount of sunscreen that you need to cover your whole face, and that's going to get you that exact protection. So this one is SPF 50. If I put on less, which a lot of people do, you are getting probably SPF 30, maybe 15, maybe less. So that's why more is more. So all that said, I do find myself repeating it often, but I will try not to repeat it anymore in these videos, and we'll just get on with the review. So now I'm just gonna put it on my face. So this is the DR.G Green Mild Sun Plus. It retails for roughly $29. It's on sale on YesStyle. I find most of the sunscreens to almost always be on sale. So on sale it's $23.20. And it comes in 1.7 fluid ounces, or 50 milliliters. So this is supposed to be a hypoallergenic natural sun cream that shields delicate and sensitive skin from harmful UV rays with mineral filters. Non-sticky physical sunscreen, glides on to leave a matte finish without any white cast. Okay, so those are kind of the main details of it. And as the main filter in it, it is mineral or physical, and it has zinc oxide. It does not say the percentage, and most of these from Korea, I cannot find the percentage, although I'm sure they're out there. For me, it's just not that big of a deal, especially because this is SPF 50 and 4 PA, so you are getting the UVA and UVB protection. I'm gonna pause here just to say that I would venture to guess that most people would have stopped applying this sunscreen by now, if not way sooner. But unfortunately, we've still got, let's see, that much to put on. Oh. I also already have sunscreen on my eyelids. I've been doing that lately just to film, because when I film quite a few videos, I put a little bit of concealer and a little bit of mascara on just so I don't look as dead. So if you're wondering why I'm not putting it on my eyelid, I've already done that. You should always put it over your eyelid as well. Looking wonderful. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes, because sometimes with the mineral sunscreen I need to do that, and then we'll come back and look at the cast, because that's what you want to know about, right? So I have had this on my face for over 5 minutes now, and I did rub it in a little bit at the end just to make sure and try to get some of that white cast away, and it has, I would say, like, it's a decent amount of rubbed in. I feel like my neck looks paler than the rest of me, and that's just kind of always what it is. Especially like if you can see where I put the concealer on my eyes, that's my skin color. Like, this concealer I have is the perfect match for me. So this is what my skin should look like, and this is what it looks like with this sunscreen. Now, is it the worst mineral filter or sunscreen I've ever tried? Absolutely not. Not by a stretch. This is actually one of the nicer ones that I've tried. I think a lot of it has to do with the actual finish of it. It has this really smooth, velvety finish, and it just goes on really, really nicely. I think the only thing I would probably improve, besides it not having white cast, is the texture and the fluidity of it. It is a cream. So for me, I find creams tend to be a little bit harder to rub in. They take a little bit longer than something that's more liquidy and actually like viscous. So that would be, if I could change one thing, I would change that. And like I said in the beginning, if you're using the correct amount, most people, unless you are at the very fair end of the spectrum, most people are going to notice a little bit of a cast. It's not terrible. Like, to me, it does look worse on camera, but when I'm looking in my mirror right here, in natural lighting, it doesn't look that bad. But I'm also coming at it after basically the winter and not really having any tan on my body or face, so I'm at my palest. And I envision if I were to wear this in the summertime when I'm tanner, especially my body, it would look pretty ghostly. So it's a half and half for me. This is not going to be something I reach for. I just don't have the time to always feel like I'm rubbing in a mineral filter and sunscreen and having to deal with, like, especially around the edges of my face with the cast. I don't feel like I want to always have to wear makeup. I do wear makeup Monday through Friday just because I enjoy it, but I don't want to have to wear it. So that's why I tend to like either a tinted mineral sunscreen or a chemical sunscreen. But if that's not an issue for you, you don't mind either having a cast, or you have a very fair complexion, or you don't mind putting makeup on over top, this is a beautiful sunscreen. So I just want to like preface all that. I want to let you know that it is one of my preferred ones. I think it has the most luxurious kind of not sensual, oh my goodness, that's weird. What am I trying to say? Velvety finishes, so you can put makeup on over top of it. It's not going to pill that bad. I've not had any pilling. Where I get my pilling is usually right here on the temples or on the edges. I've not had that. And so really it's just a preference thing. And the reason that I do my videos like I do, where I show you the exact amount that you should use, and I just basically give you the information to make up your mind. I'm not going to necessarily tell you to go out and buy it, because it really depends. It depends. Do you want a mineral sunscreen? Do you want one with no white cast? Like, there's so many things, but if I can show you what it looks like on my skin tone, on my skin type, which is normal, combo in the summer, then maybe it gives you a little bit of a clearer picture. So when we're talking about skin types though, like I just said, I have normal, combo in the summer. I know this is not going to be enough for you if you do have drier skin. I have plenty of friends that have dry skin and they want something dewy because their skin just soaks it up. This doesn't even have really much of, like the finish is almost matte. It's a velvet matte, I would say. So if you do have more dry skin, you would need to heavily moisturize underneath, but it's not going to be something that I think most people are going to be reaching for if that is their preference. It doesn't have a scent, which is great. I love that, especially for a mineral sunscreen because they tend to be, you know, a little bit more targeted to people with more sensitive skin, and scents and fragrances can irritate those people's skin. So this is a very good like base level mineral sunscreen. It's just not my preference. I've made it kind of clear lately that I am over the non-tinted white casty mineral sunscreens. I just don't have the patience for it. I don't have the time. There's so many beautiful sunscreens out there. So it's not my preference, but if you enjoy it, it would be a good option if you like the things that I mentioned. And that's kind of where I will leave it. So I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, of course, let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed day 2 of 14 days of sunscreen, and I will see you tomorrow on day 3. Bye!